Hello, welcome back to yet another edition of our Python program. So in today's lesson, we are going to discuss about logical operation. So as you know, the last time we treat about conditional statements, if and elif statements, and also nested elif statements. So in this lesson today, we are only going to focus on just conditional statements that deals with logical operation. That's to say, if you have two conditions or two statements, you want to combine these statements, we use multiple condition. So in terms of multiple condition, what can join these two operations together is through the use of and, or not. So in this lesson, we are only going to focus on these three logical operations, and, or, and not, and we'll see how we use this type of condition in a statement. But first, let's see the truth table for and, or, and the not. So for the and operation, if both statements are true, then the statement will be true. Otherwise, the statement will be false. So here to say, if you have two numbers, let's say A, you assign A to a certain number and B to a certain number, then you say A is greater than this or B is greater than this. If you compute the two numbers together, you see an output. If one of the statements is true and the other statement is false, then definitely it will become false. But if both statements are true, then your condition will be true. So we'll see this type of condition today through the use of code in Python. And again, for or operation, if you have two statements, if one of the statements is true, then it will be true. Okay, so no need for you to have like both statements true. If one of the statements is true, then your statement or condition will be true. Of course, for the not operation, it's just the opposite of what you want to say. If you say yes, then the opposite of yes will be no. If you say true, the opposite of true will be false. So we'll see this operation here. Let's see an example here. I gave a diagram to see how these are. Okay, so here is an example of the truth table. So here you can see for the and operation, you have here, if both statements are true, then your output will be true. So you can see if both statements are true. So here you can only obtain a true statement if both statements are true. So other than this one, everything will be false. So here you can see true will be true, true, false, 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 true, false, false, false is false. And this is or operation. For the or operation, here if one of the statements is true, then it will be true. So you see here we have true will be true, true, false, true is true, and false is false. So for or operation, the statement can only be false if both statements are false. And the last one here is the not operation. So for the not operation, is just the opposite of what input you have given your command. Okay, so if your input is true, then your output will be false. If your input is false, then your output will be true. So let's run a basic code using these logical operations here. So you open your Replic account, as we are using Replic. So here from your Replic account, we see, let's first try with the AND operation. If we say A equals to 2 from the table, and we say B, and we say B equals to 2 again. So now let's see the results. The results must be equals to A and B. So A and B. So we have here A is true, B is true. The result of A and B, as I said, for logical operation of AND, if both statements are true, then your output will be true. But any alteration of these statements here will be false. So now let's print the results of this and see what will be our output based on the truth table we have. So now we'll print the results. So we'll print these results and see. One here. So you can see it's true because both statements are true. So now let's change here and say false and run the same piece of code and see what will be our output. See, our output here is false. So the statements can only be true if both statements are true. Otherwise, it's false. So this is for AND operation. So let's check for the OR operation. Let's just change here from AND to OR. So for the OR, if one of the statements is true, as I said, then the statements will be true. If one, it can only be false if both statements are false. So let's run this again and see. So here is true because now we use OR. So if you interchange, let's say here you use here true and up you use false. So let's see, you can also obtain a true statement. So see, again, it's true. So now, but if both are false for the OR operation, so let's see. Your Boolean operation, this needs to be capitalized. So now it's false. So also for the AND, OR and the NOT. So now we are done with the AND and the OR. So let's see for the NOT. If you have here A, of course for NOT you can only have one. We'll assign only one variable here. So we'll say here NOT A will be true. So we'll say NOT A. So if we run this one again, NOT A, because A is false. So the results we assign is not A. So we'll print the results. This one will be true. So you see, it's very simple. You can just alternate these variables. You can use A, B, you interchange, then you get your outputs. So now let's see in terms of variables, numbers. So for in terms of numbers, let's combine two variables together. So say x, let x equals to 5, and we say y y equals to 10. So now we combine the results. The result, we can say x greater than 3 and say x greater than 3 x greater than 3 we are going slowly so that you can understand, and we say y less than 15, y less than 15. So let's print these results. Here you can see x is equals to 5, y equals to 10. So x greater than 3. If it's true, then it will say true. Then y is less than 15 here. So this one, it will be true. So let's run this. So C is true. So now let's write more lengthy code, which is in terms of statement where we can combine the else, elif, and the nested elif statement. So let's see here from our graph. Here we have flowcharts. So now we want to write a code that says when a student comes to an institution to do registration, so the first condition here we need to check is the height. So if the height of the candidate is greater than 120 centimeters, then we can enroll this particular candidate. If it's less than 120 centimeters, we can't enroll. So no sooner this one first condition is not met, then the piece of code will terminate, come to the end of the process. But if this statement is met, the height is greater than 120 or equals to 120, then we can enroll. So when the students reach this stage to enroll, we check for age, because we have different prices to enroll a student. So if the age is less than 18 years, the student needs to pay 20 millions. For greater than equals to 18 years. For less than 18 years is 10 millions. So these are the conditions we are going to write a piece of code. The last time we have similar code of this one, but the difference here is now we have multiple conditions. The conditions here are this height, the age, and the ID card. So here, if the student is less than 18 years, now we ask these students, you need ID card? If he says yes, then we add the ID card. So you can see the prices are here. First, for less than 18 is 10 millions. For greater than equals to 18 is 20 millions. So if you need an ID card, then this 10 plus these 2 will be added together, then will give you the total bill. So here, the registration process will only be terminated if this first condition is not met, that height is less than 120, it will terminate to the end of the process. But if the height is greater than 120, then you can be enrolled. So after which, we'll check for the age. So if the age is less than 18, 20, 10. So if the age is less than 18, is 10 millions. Then we also ask for the ID. Do you need an ID card? If yes, then we add the 2 millions. But age greater than 50 years, we can enroll free. So this is a multiple condition, multiple statements. Okay, so we can only use this one by using an operation. So that's why we start from this table for the AND operation, As you can see, we can also use this OR operation to compute this same piece of code. So now let's try to run our code and see. Back to our replica account. So now we start from height, but first we need to welcome the candidate. So we'll print welcome to Tech Nurture Academy Salon. So these are our welcome statements. Now our first condition is the height. So height we input, which is an integer, int input what is your height. What is your height? What is your height in centimeter? In centimeter is a question mark. Okay. So now we'll check for bill. We'll check for bill. We say bill bill equals to 0. So now we say if height greater than, we use greater than equals to 120. This is a condition. So we use colon. So we say print you can enroll at Tech Nurture Academy Salon. So now we'll check for age. So the user inputs the age with an integer. What is your age? So here comes another condition. If age is less than 18, if age less than 18, the bill is 10. The bill is 10. Then we say print teenagers need to pay $10 million. So that's our first condition. Else if age greater than 18 and see here we apply the and age less than 50. So here we check the bill is 20. So 20. So first, let's see here. Our first condition, when the candidates come to the institution, we first check for the height. Then if the height is 120, then we can tell the user or the candidates you can enroll to this institution. Then the other condition we will check for age. Then the user needs to input his or her age. If the age is less than 18, the bill is 10. So we print teenagers needs to pay 10. If age greater than 18 and age less than 50, so between 18 and 50, the user needs to pay $20. So print adults need to pay $20 million. So now we check for the after the teenagers needs to pay 10 million. So now we come to the if age greater than 18 and less than 50, the bill is 20. So now we can tell the user adults needs to pay 20 million. So now this condition between 0 to 50, you need to pay. So else, so above 50 we say else print you can enroll for free. Elderly people needs to enroll for free. So above 50 years, they can enroll for free. So just after this, we need to exit. If this condition is satisfied, we need to exit because elderly people needs to pay 0 loans. So now we are having some error here. So let's see, we need to import here first the system from the starting of our code because we are having some error here, system.exit. So we say import our system. We'll shift this. So after this, then now we ask the user if you want ID card. Wants ID card. We input here. So now we ask the user, do you want ID card? ID card. So if yes, you type Y, or no. So now you see we have used two of the logical operation. Here we use AND, if the age greater than 18 and age less than 50, we pay this bill. So now we use the OR. So do you want ID card? Y for yes or N for no. So now we say if wants ID card, if wants ID card, standard assignment. So Y means yes. So now the bill for this, we make an increment of 3. We make an increment of 2 here. So now we print by using the f string function your bill, your final bill, is, and we use curly braces here for bill, total bill. So this we can say total bill so, and again we need to define this total bill. So just after this, say total bill must be equals to bill because we are having some error here, error line, so we need to define the total bill. Equals to bill. So now we remove the error. So now we check for the photo or ID. If you need an ID plus 2 millions to your previous amount. So now when we run this piece of code, we need to see the total if you need. But for age above 50 is free enrollment. So now what if the height is not met? So this is supposed to be the last condition. If the height is not met, so you can see the indentation here. The indentation is supposed to be down where you see this height. So here we can say else we can say sorry, you can't enroll. Sorry, you can't enroll. At Technology Academy alone. So this is our code here where we use logical operations in terms of statements. Here, as you can see from this activity diagram, you can see here, first we check for the height. If the height condition is met, then you come to enrollment. Then we check for age. Age between from 0, I can say, to 50, you can pay. But above 50, adults is free enrollment. So here, if your age is less than 18, you pay 10 new leons. Then we'll ask the user, do you need an ID card? If the user say yes, then we'll add plus 2 new leons to this amount. So it becomes 12 new leons. So also for this 20 new leons, for adults, for age between 18 and 50, you can pay 20 new leons. So if you need an ID card, the total bill is supposed to be 22 new leons before the program terminates. Okay, so now let's see our code. Let's try to run this code and see if our conditions are met. So you click the run button. So now you see here, welcome to Technology Academy Salon. What is your age in centimeter? Let's say first, let's say the age is 15. We'll check for the height. Okay, let's say the height is, because if the height is 120, so let's say the height is just 100 centimeter. So you see here, for the height, if the height is less than 120, no need for this other question, this other conditional statements. If the height here is less than 120, so all these other codes are ignored and just else print sorry, you can't enroll. You can't enroll. So now let's try for a condition wherein the height is met and see what should be next. So here, your height is, now let's say 125, enter. So now it say you can enroll at Technology Academy Salon. What is your age? So now let's say my age is 25, enter. So you see here, adults needs to pay 20 new leons because this age now is above 18. You say adults needs to pay 20 new leons. So now, do you want ID card? So after this one, do you want ID card? If yes, you type Y, caps, and enter. So your final bill is 22 new leons. Okay. Your final bill is 22 new leons. So our calculations are correct because 20 plus the 2 of the fourth row gives you 22. So now let's try another condition for age less than 18. So let's run this again. So the height is 125. Enter. Your age is 15. Enter. So you see here, teenagers need to pay 10 new leons. Do you want ID? I say yes. Press Y. Enter. Your final bill is 12 new leons because 10 plus the 2 will give you 12 new leons. So now let's see the final condition here for free enrollment for elderly people. So we can run this code again and see. So here your height, say 125, enter. What is your age? So between 50 and infinity is free enrollment. So let's say now 55. So you see elderly needs to enroll for free. So this piece of code is working perfectly. You can use this code to implement in any workplace. You can interact with the code, do some changes. So thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe on the channel, give your comments. So if you enjoyed the video, just drop your comments and subscribe on the channel. See you on the next video.